Shut up and sit down.
What's going on, guys? I was out in my boat, I was cleaning it up, I've let it go, it's very unorganized, and I thought that I would come up with some tips to help you guys become a more efficient tournament angler and just all in all a better angler as far as efficiency. So I'll start off here, we'll look at this. I don't know if you've ever run into this or if I'm the only guy that has this problem, but you open your jerkbait box. You need to get one out. Let's see, let's go with this guy right here, and you pull this out. Now you can throw this if you want. I don't know what the bite's going to be like. Maybe they're schooling. You could catch 6 or 8 at a time. But let me show you what I do with mine, and just to keep it a little more cleaner. Now, as you can see what I did, I mean it's an old trick, but you just come in, you put rubber bands on these. I mean you can reach in, you can grab one. It's super simple. The biggest key I can tell you when doing it is make sure that you grab that third hook with that rubber band. Okay? So be sure you do that, and that's going to make you more efficient. You're going to be able to get your boxes. See, look, we'll put it up. If you think I just had them laying in there in a certain way, shake it around, let it move. It's riding in the boat. All right, we get out. Let's say we want this one on the bottom, so we're going to get it out. So see how more efficient that is? Yeah, I don't have that big. Efficiency is the key in any tournament, as far as the more cast I can put in front of the fish, the higher chance I have of getting that fish. Now that previous clip, we went over the jerkbait, and those rubber bands, I mean, can be used for anything with treble hooks. Just that little bit of efficiency is really going to save you some time when you're out on the water and you're making changes. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is organizing your hooks. I got an old hook box here. I want to show you what it looks like. I mean, you need that 4/0 hook. You're going to get it. Let's get it out of there. This one here. So you have to shake. It's all different sizes. I can't tell what I got here. So let's see what we can do to make that better. So now we got our hook box organized. Some keys that I really like is safety pins. Group your hooks in what size you're going to have them as. 5s. These are some 5/0, 7/0. Your flipping hooks, and the safety pin allows you to, you just open it up. Okay, so then what you're going to do, you get your safety pin. You decide you need a 4/0 flipping hook, and you're just going to take one right off. It's that easy. They don't get tangled up. It's a great little tip just to make you a little more efficient on the water. Now something else I do, I go a step further, and I make these for my Carolina rigs. If you'll look at it, it's already got the swivel and both of the beads and a knocker on it. So what I have to do is I open it up, pull this off, I run my beads up my line, both the beads, and then the knocker. I already got my swivel here ready to go. I tie it on and I'm ready. From that point forward, all I got to do is come down and get a hook. So I would put a hook on here, but depending on what I'm throwing, it always changes. So that's another thing that I use. But that's a really good tip. Have your Carolina rigs ready. Also, like bobber stops. I keep all my bobber stops on one. Any kind of split rings, clips, stuff like that. Anything like this I'm going to keep. I do that, and then also I keep my rattles in just an old hook bag, so they're not flopping around. Have all them. I can see through them. They're clear. If I want a big rattle, a small one, whatever I need. That's another good little tip. So that's the hook box. I think if you'll give it a try, like I said, it's super easy. It keeps everything right there, tangle free, easy to find, and also I can look in here and say, okay, I need some. I only have a few of the trocar tube hooks here, so I can pick up some more just with a quick glance in the box. I know what I got, what I don't want. Next tip for you guys, you're out crankbait fishing, you decide you want to change colors, you're going to go to this guy. Okay, never put that wet bait back into your tackle boxes. The moisture that's in them, they need to dry off first. So what I do in my boat is I take a pool noodle and I cut it in half and I glue it to the deck lid like this. Now what that allows you to do, when you get done fishing, you're going to come in, you're going to change baits, you can hook that bait right into that pool noodle, just like that. So you got two, go hook one over here, leave it there, let them dry. So you close your deck lid, they're out of the way, you open it back up, they're right here with you. If you got certain baits you want, you can put them up there, you know, make it easier, make it more efficient. But that'll keep them off the deck, keep you from stepping on them, breaking the lips off of them, stuff like that. So again, a pool noodle, I split it in half to where it's smooth on one end, and then I just glued it to the deck lid. I mean, when these things get tore up, you can buy them, they're nothing. It comes right off. I use hot glue. But there's another good tip for you guys. Now this tip is something I do anytime I'm fishing a Texas rig, and if you guys haven't tried this, once you do it, you're going to thank me. You're going to save so many baits, and your hookup percentage is going to go way up if you're not doing this. So first off, I mean, we just got a Texas rig here, 4/0 hook Texas rig. I'm going to put on just a Senko style bait here just to show you. Rig it up. So you can do it this way, you can go fish with it, everything's good. Now, what I'm going to show you here is take a normal toothpick, okay, and stick it through, find up here, and go right through where the eye of the hook is, okay. Once you get through it, you're just going to break that toothpick off. And then I normally use some scissors and trim it off. Now, what that's going to do is eliminate that bait from slipping down. It no longer is going to slip. It'll actually tear before it slips. So if you ever get a bite and you come back and your plastic's all wadded up down here on the end, if you'll use this trick right here, it'll completely eliminate it. I'll show you here. Let's pull it off. And we're just going to pull it and watch it. It'll actually tear the bait. Let's try to slide it down the shank even. So as see, it's actually going to tear the hook off before it's going to allow that bait to slide down. This is a crucial tip. And then also, it normally just tears the end of it. So you can take you some scissors, clip it off, do the same thing again. You can get way more life out of your baits doing this tip. I promise you, give it a try. It's going to work. I'll do it again here. So you're going to rig it up on there. Make sure you get it up past the eye. Stick that toothpick straight through it. Break it off. Rig up. And again, you're ready to go. Give that tip a try. I guarantee you're going to like it. Alright guys, another tip for any angler out there. I mean, if you're not using a lure knocker, if you don't have one in your boat, I mean, you're going to have to go out and get one. I use this one. I mean, I use them till I lose them, but this guy, probably $8, $9 at the most. You can get them Bass Pro, Walmart, about anywhere. They normally come with a rope attached to them, but what I do is one step farther to make it a little bit more efficient. It doesn't get tangled up this way, and I just take an old bait caster, which is one I don't use anymore. I took an old reel that had an eye broke off of it and spooled it up with 80 or 100 pound test. I think this is 80 pound. And then all I do is just slide it up over the shank here. I reel it down, and that's how I store it. So it stores like this. It's nice. It's out of the way, and it's always ready for me. So if I get hung up, I'll just hit this button here. I let it go down. I leave the spool loose on it. I set it down. I send it over the boat. I go down. I get my lure, knock it loose with it, reel it back up, put it back together. great tip, great efficiency. You're going to like it. I know everybody's got some broken rods laying around the house there, so get you something like this and it'll store easy. It's out of the way, it's always ready, and you don't have a tangled mess. Next tip we're going to talk about is rod gloves. If you don't know what a rod glove is, it's just a sleeve that your rod goes inside, and it protects your rods, it protects the eyes on your rod, and I haven't had hardly any breaks since I started using them. The biggest asset I see with it is if you open this, you got, I don't know, there may be 10 or 12 rods in there. But we had a situation last year, we was in a tournament, fish started bowling up behind us, and I didn't have a topwater on the deck. Now, used to, when I would reach in here and try to untangle one, it might take me 2 to 3 minutes to get that thing out of the mess that it was just wadded up in. With the rod gloves, I can reach in, I can come all the way down to the bottom, give it a little shake, the rod will come right out. I just pull the sleeve off. So that is another key on efficiency. I mean, being able to get your rods in and out of the locker faster, it just helps a ton. Now, one thing I like to do on a rod glove is, let me show you, let me close this back down, and say we got a rod here. If you guys are traveling a lot, what you can do, let me slide it over the tip here. So we pull it all the way down, and we're going to go back. So we got it down here. A lot of times if you're traveling, you're putting it in and out of a car, this will want to slide up constantly. So to resolve that, what you can do, get you a safety pin and a couple of rubber bands. So now what you're going to do, open that safety pin up, come right here through the base of it, and close it back. Now, run this rubber band up to your tensioner knob, and that'll keep that from sliding up as easy. That's actually a little bit weak, so you can come all the way up, grab this one, and that'll keep these from sliding up, pulling them in and out of cars. If you're pond fishing, you're hopping around, you're having trouble with them sliding up and down. If you don't use rod gloves, definitely get them. I mean, it's $7-8. It'll save $100, $150, $200 investment as far as your rod goes. They also make reel covers. I don't use them, but I have a rod glove on every rod that I own.